Coming up on the Buckeye Guard, meet Tech Sergeant Alexis Yates, one of the top recruiters in the nation. And later, get a glimpse of the soldiers from the 37th Infantry Brigade Combat Team as they showcase how the Armor Branch delivers decisive action on the battlefield.
It's not about how many people you enlist, but how well you support them through the process.
Tech Sergeant Yates has charisma.
When you meet her, you just immediately feel like she's been your best friend for years.
She's charismatic, like sort of beyond her years.
She's that really hardworking first volunteer airman, and she is a great wingman.
Hi, I'm Technical Sergeant Alexis Yates. I have the most enlistments in the Air National Guard, and I'm an Ohio Air National Guard recruiter. Being a recruiter means being the face of the Air National Guard. I help people join the Air National Guard. I connect with potential airmen and help them throughout their enlistment process. So my overall goal for being a recruiter is just educating people on what the Air National Guard has to offer and helping them through the enlistment process if this is where their goals and career choices align. At first, I'll call them and make sure that they are interested in the part-time component of the Air Force and not the active duty service. And then if they are ready to start the enlistment process, I will then meet with them at my office.
So being a recruiter, being trustworthy and being personable is extremely important. If someone's going to come in here and they're trusting you to essentially sign them up for something that is going to be 6+ years, they want to trust that what you're saying is true and that you want the best for them, or at least going to put them in a good place for them. Technical Sergeant Yates is just really kind. She's caring. She's one of those people that she'll check in on you, even though, I mean, she's extremely busy with being the #1 recruiter in the nation. She's just that kind of person that's always going to be there for you, but she's also extremely funny. So just being in a room with her makes you more like excited and just happy. So having a trustworthy recruiter and having someone like that who's gonna make sure that you're taken care of means everything.
I haven't always been a recruiter. I first started as an electrician with the 200 Red Horse.
I'm an electrician in the Air Force, and I just hope I learn a lot from this trip.
So I've had a really positive experience in the Ohio Air National Guard, and I just kind of wanted to pay it forward and help other people get the same opportunity that I had.
I knew she had those recruiter traits. And those traits would be, she had an openness about her, she was engaging, and I was like, this kid has something. I figured that she was destined for success, because for her to be such a young individual, she has no problem engaging anyone from any age group, walk of life, and I think that's what makes her an incredible salesperson.
Being Recruiter of the Year recognizes all the work you put in throughout the year. It shows how involved you are with your applicants, in your community, and how you impact the mission. I do think I have a chance at the national level because I have worked hard this entire year. I've had great leadership behind me who have helped me reach my goal. They've challenged me, they kept me motivated, and being a part of the Ohio Air National Guard honestly makes my job a lot easier because, again, like in our state, it shows how much our airmen love to be here.
She is extremely hardworking. She was working on days off, she was working in evenings. She really put the person first. She's really good at organization because there's no way that you can help that many people and not be.
When she's working the applicant and she sent documentation to me, everything has really been spot on. So I know she's meticulous in going over her paperwork before submitting it.
To always show up to work with a positive mindset, it really sets the tone for your day. I would always tell people to not be afraid to take the opportunities that take you outside of your comfort zone. If someone wanted to become a recruiter, I would tell them this job can be very rewarding but also very demanding. It will challenge you and it'll make you show up and do your best every single day.
To see her so driven, to go out there and be #1 in the nation, I couldn't be prouder.
So I do think other airmen's experiences definitely makes my job a lot easier. Everyone in the Air National Guard are recruiters themselves, so it does help me every day.
She's definitely an airman that I would want next to me in any situation.
This comes down to being real and genuine to your applicants and just showing up for them every day, answering your phone calls, answering your texts, and just helping them get through the process. I think it's important to take time and understand where they're coming from and what their wants and needs are, and helping them guide them through the process of what best fits for them, whether it's the Guard or not. I try to make people feel as comfortable as possible when they come into my office.
The Ohio State Buckeyes hosted their annual Military Appreciation Game in honor of Veterans Day, recognizing service members, veterans, and military families from across the state. Service members from the Ohio Army and Air National Guard were present throughout the stadium, representing units and missions from across Ohio.
What a great opportunity to be at the Ohio State University Horseshoe as a military member, being recognized for our service and for the service to so many others that have come before us. With all of the veterans that are in the crowd and all the military friendly faces that are going to be clapping and supporting us. And it feels so good to be out here.
Before kickoff, an airman from the 180th Fighter Wing led the Buckeyes onto the field, carrying the American flag in the team's traditional entrance. Military families participated in the on-field flag presentation during the national anthem, a hallmark of the university's annual salute to service.
So we have about, I believe, 50 members of Ohio National Guard members from Air National Guard and Army, and some of their family members. So I brought my boyfriend with me, and I'm just really excited. It's gonna be great.
During halftime, a group of new Ohio National Guard recruits took their enlistment oath on the field, marking the beginning of their service in front of a crowd of more than 100,000 spectators. The Ohio National Guard's participation in the Military Appreciation Game highlights the organization's partnership with communities across the state and its role in preparing the next generation of citizen soldiers and airmen. I'm Staff Sergeant Jill Manus, reporting for the Ohio National Guard.
The Ohio National Guard Scholarship Program is basically a scholarship for anybody who wants to join the Guard and also pursue an education, and they pay for all of the tuition costs.
Being in the infantry and the Army in general definitely has helped with college. I'm studying political science. Using the National Guard Scholarship, I've paid nothing for college.
The Ohio National Guard Scholarship is an education benefit that we use to help airmen and soldiers pay for their bachelor's degree, associate's degree, or any other type of licensing programs that they would want.
I joined the Air National Guard for its college benefits and also experience with the military. I just always wanted to join since high school, and it paid off.
In addition to helping you financially, Guard gives you a different perspective on life. I joined the Ohio National Guard in 2020. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I've always wanted to join, and I wanted to be part of something bigger than myself.
When I heard about the Guard, I was paying college out of pocket. So I paid freshman year myself, and then I had to take out a loan for the first part of sophomore year until I joined. That part was a big reason of why I joined. I didn't want to take out loans.
So the Montgomery GI Bill Chapter 1606 is designed to help students pay for books. They can pay for their room and board or any other expense that will help them get through college financially. The Montgomery GI Bill is $481 a month while they go to school full-time.
The commitment is worth the benefits. We do the 1 weekend a month, and it all is worth the opportunities that you get. You get to travel, you get to go to school for free, and everything is a lot less stressful. Every so often, I have to be like, guys, I'm not going to be here this weekend, but every other weekend of the school year, I am a typical student, going to class, hanging out with my friends, going to football games, all the good stuff.
The break between graduating high school and then right now, I had a deployment where that has definitely helped me clarify my goals in life. And so now coming back to college, I've been very dedicated because I know what I want to do. I have goals and I want to reach those goals. I would like to join the JAG. The JAG is the Army's lawyers. There's JAG that help individual troops with their legal issues. And there's also JAG for the Army as a whole. And with a lot of degrees, there's a lot of opportunity to do different things.
And that's one of the great things about the Guard. You don't have to align your job with your career in the military. I very much enjoy having a different career because nursing can be stressful at times, and so it's nice to just have a break from that and still get to work with people but in a different capacity.
To use the Ohio National Guard scholarship, it's actually very easy. So soldiers or airmen would just have to log into their account and request their semester.
The best skill I've picked up is definitely working with others, where in the Guard, well, you work with a wide variety of people, and so doing that has helped a lot, and then as well as like dedication and time management as well.
If you're on the fence about joining the Guard, just do it. I was very on the fence too, and every second has been worth it. It's like a little family in the Guard, and I love it.
The overall mission of the Armor Branch is going to revolve a lot around maneuvers, tactics, mainly based on gunnery. At the end of the day, you have your heavy tankers and you have your Cav Scouts. Your Scouts are going to do your reconnaissance, your tankers are going to go in and have that shock and awe factor. I think we provide a big deterrence for a lot of other smaller vehicles, a lot of other movements. If we need to obtain an area and keep control of that area, I feel like that's going to be a big help, is having a big tank staged out there. No one really wants to mess with that too much.
Tanks do something specifically that no other platform can do. What tanks specialize in is hitting hard with direct fires. When you have direct line of sight of something and you want to hit it with a high caliber projectile, there's nothing else that can do it better than a tank. And the Abrams is one of the newest iterations of that capability. So teamwork is extremely important, both inside the tank, and then it only gets harder the more tanks you're working with. Each tank has 4 people that each has their own job, and the communication is two-way with all of those people. Letting rounds loose, especially main gun rounds, is a pretty exciting thing, and that's what keeps people excited about this job. Junior enlisted typically look up to being a gunner one day, and then once you're a gunner or a tank commander, it's hard to not be excited about the job.
So, simple terms, a cavalry scout, we are the eyes and ears of our brigade commanders. I like to think we're a little bit smarter infantrymen. You know, a lot of regular infantrymen don't have vehicles, so we're highly mobile. We operate generally as platoon elements, but we can also operate in sections, and we sometimes will be the most forward element of the brigade. The cliche saying for cavalry scouts is our main weapon is our radio, because we are able to sneak up close to the enemy, observe, and call for fire if need be. So if we have the priority of fires, we are able to call fire missions. You're gonna get to shoot some big heavy weapons, some machine guns, and you're gonna get to be in the woods a lot. And all of those things so far have become true. As a kid, I was always in the woods. I really liked being out there all day, building forts, chopping trees down, doing all those things. And then what 18-year-old kid doesn't want to shoot an automatic grenade launcher or a 50 cal machine gun?
So currently my role in the M2A3 Bradley is a driver. I operate the vehicle. The Bradley in itself is an armored vehicle. It's important because if you're trying to get to an objective and you're taking fire, the Bradley is that cover to gain that fire superiority that you need for your dismounts or the other infantrymen with you to be able to assault that objective and take it properly. So we're there to provide the support they need, the cover they need, and make sure they get that mission done. Our focus at the moment is, of course, with the Bradleys, because that is what we're training on currently, but being infantrymen as well, it's cool to do both things at the same time, because they're both cool jobs.
Right now, Ohio, Minnesota, and the state of Missouri are the only states left with tanks. The rest have been pulled because the general consensus is that the National Guard doesn't have a reason for tanks. I think that when it comes to who you're sending overseas, you know, you send a lot of active duty people over there, a lot of times, like, they come up just undermanned, and so, like, when you need that backup, at least we're there to, like, help back those active duty forces. A lot of it is being able to keep the tradition of armor stateside, essentially, when it comes to the National Guard.